Hi and welcome to this workshop. Today we're going to check if it's too high torque or not too high torque. So the only obvious difference you can see outside is the orange-black shield. It has a little bit bigger diameter and also the indication of high torque, while the standard mostly has a full black one or a complete orange shield. If you look to the cutting swath or the cutting diameter from the high torque, and we take from the center to the cutoff knife, we have about 26.5 centimeters. Multiply by 2. If you look to a standard one, a non-high torque, you have about 22.5. So here you see on the upper side a standard gear case that you can find on standard trimmers and also many other brands, and on the bottom side you can find the high torque gear case configuration. Now, before you go to buy a trimmer or a brush cutter, you need to ask yourself, what is the daily application or the daily work I need to do with it? When it's just trimming after lawn mowing or mowing the lawn, it can be enough with just a standard gear case because you get light work, low grass, not so dense grass, so you can do the work perfectly with the standard gear case. But when you have to do it also, or use your product also for trimming and brush cutting, thick, heavy, coarse grass, bad weed, it's maybe better to buy one with the high torque gear case. Now, the difference in construction is purely in this secondary gear wheel. So we have the motor RPM that comes into the gear case, but here we have a smaller diameter than on the high torque one. The high torque has an increased diameter of the secondary gear wheel. That means that the cutting speed is a little bit higher on this one, but when you get heavy load on your trimmer head, it will drop the RPMs significantly. So instead of cutting the grass, you will push the grass flat. While trimming, you don't need such a heavy load, or you don't have such a heavy load that you can just continue the work. While with a high torque, by increasing the diameter, we are decreasing the cutting speed on the trimmer head, but we increase significantly the torque. So even with increased diameter of trimmer line, we extend also the diameter with almost 5 centimeters plus in the cutting swath. We can cut much more efficient because due to this reduction of the speed, we increase the torque, what keeps up the RPMs of the engine. So instead of pushing the grass flat, even with heavy load on the trimmer head, we continue cutting the grass instead of pushing it flat. So that's mainly the difference between the standard and the high torque. Also, if you look at 25cc brush cutter in combination with a high torque gear case, you can compare with the engine displacement that is with the standard one 5 to 10 cc's higher. So 25cc with the high torque gear case, if you want to compare this into a standard one, you will have to add 5 to 10 cc to get the same performance or cutting efficiency. So now you see the layout here with the input from so-called motor. We replace the petrol engine by a DC motor. The shaft comes in, it will drive, so we have a dot on the axles, but also keep an eye on the white lines on the trimmer heads. So this one goes a little bit faster than this one, but this one has significantly higher torque. So with increased diameter of the trimmer line, with extended swath of the cutting diameter, but also with the high load we get during brush cutting, we can keep up the performance of the engine, and we will keep cutting the grass instead of pushing it flat. So let's go outside and compare a standard gear case versus a high torque gear case with increased trimmer line diameters, but also with creating heavy load on the trimmer head. And let's see what how the engine is reacting to that.